All right, well, let's use that as a transition here to this next video. You may have seen this, but it's worth watching again. Oh. I mean, just look at that shit-eating grin on Michael Saylor's face. Watch this clip.
You've been relatively less vocal than some of your peers in the crypto community about your political views. And I have to ask, have you met with President-elect Donald Trump?
I've met with a lot of people in the incoming administration, but I couldn't comment further than that.
Okay, can't comment further than that. I was going to ask you about plans, but instead I'll ask you about whether or not you would be willing to serve in the Trump administration in any capacity. Bloomberg has reported that there potentially could be a crypto advisory council. Is that something that you might be interested in?
You know, I'm always willing to provide thoughts on constructive digital assets policy, either in confidence or publicly. And if I'm asked to serve on some sort of digital assets advisory council, I'm probably would do so, yes.
You've been relatively less vocal.
I mean, I just talked about the fact that, you know, if you were paying attention at all, if you have the ability to use common sense and logic, you could have seen what was coming here when we went from what, 40,000 earlier this year to 108,000. Like, it's not like it came out of nowhere, right? And I think that this exact same thing is going to happen with the U.S. Strategic Reserve. It's like people are humming and hawing on whether or not this thing is going to happen. Like, it's going to happen. And, you know, if you understand the implications of the most influential country on this planet buying Bitcoin, what kind of signal does that send to every other country, every company on earth, every state, every province, every city, every town, every municipality? Like, understand the implications of what is going to happen in 1 month from now. You have to. And I mean, did you see how he was smiling there? Like, he knows stuff right now. There's a lot of people who know stuff right now. And if you're going to lean on the side of skepticism and say, I'm going to wait until January or February or March for Bitcoin price to crash, and then I'm going to buy some, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. And imagine Saylor, you know, you can tell by his body language that he has met with Trump before. Eric Trump has said numerous times now that the Trumps have known Michael Saylor for 20 years. Like, if you're really that naive to think that these two people have never discussed anything before, I don't know what to tell you. And again, if you believe that Michael Saylor and Donald Trump have never talked Bitcoin before, then I have some oceanfront property to sell you in Arizona, as King George Strait would say.